Hey guys, this is Neighbour here. The July Week 4 content update for WOTV JP has dropped earlier today, and we've got a bunch of things to talk about. We have a new vision card. As you can see here, we have new banners, quite generous this time. We've got Master Ability 2 for Miranda and Kilphe. We have Icebrand +6, as well as new job limited vision card effects for 20 existing R and SR vision cards. Now before we move on, I just want to take a moment to apologize. Originally I intended to cover all of this stuff on a live stream earlier in the day, but unfortunately my neighbor had been carrying out some renovation works, so they've been doing a bunch of drilling, and it was just impossible to record any videos, much less do a live stream with all that noise around. So instead I'm just gonna do a recap for you here in this video, and then separately on another video I'm going to do the young Sadali main story chapter playthrough. For that, I'm actually planning to fence up the entire chapter so that you can tell what the characters are actually saying as you watch the playthrough. So if that sounds like something you might be interested in, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notifications bell so that you may be notified when that video goes live. Okay, with that out of the way, let's take a look at all the new stuff that went live in JP today, starting with the new vision card, Hono Koete, Overcoming the Flames. So I've already talked about the effects for this card in my previous video, so I only want to highlight one thing, which is that the Man-Eater up when performing physical attacks value is actually 30, which is a tad bit higher than the 25 that we typically see in the other vision cards with this effect. So this could be a sign of things to come in the future, because now that the developers can actually give specific card effects to units of very specific job classes, and that itself is actually quite limiting. Maybe because of that, they can actually justify giving higher values or higher numbers for some of these effects. So it'll be quite interesting to see. I mean, technically this is kind of a power spike, right, if you think about it, but on the other hand, unlike vision cards with elemental limited effects, this is really quite a bit harder to use, because you need to be able to form a party with units that can actually take advantage of the effect. So it'll be interesting to see how this shapes up. I'll let you guys know again if if I see any chatter in JP about how the card is being used. But for now, other than the new vision card, we actually have a bunch of pretty interesting banners this time around. It's the celebration for the 21 million downloads anniversary. So we have 10 UR paid Viz banners, and the thing that's special this time is that you're actually, of the 10 URs, you're actually able to select any unit for one of the slot, as long as it's cost 90 or under. So this is pretty good. It's like the next best thing to the 2.5 anniversary banner. And then the other paid Viz banner that they introduced is this one here, which gives you 5 slots of 80. Sorry, you know what? For this, I think it's probably easier to show you the graphic. So this is the result of what I saw someone put up on Twitter earlier today. So as you can see here, with this paid Viz banner, you basically select from a list of non-limited units, cost 90 or under, which you select which character you want like 400 shots for, and then for the remainder 5 slots is random. But basically, if you think about it, this is 2000 paid Viz for 400 unit shots of your choosing, as well as 200 unit shots given out at random. So that's actually pretty good value, especially considering that this is a JP banner. This is in JP we're talking about, and over in JP things are usually not as generous as the way we have it here in global. And then one more thing that they reintroduced this time is a 1000 paid Viz 1000 paid Viz single UR 10 pool. But the thing with this pool is that It looks like, oh yeah, so for the single UR that you get, it will come from a pool of units that fall under the job category Rods, Black Mage, and others. Now if we take a look here, oh, not this one. So that essentially means that moving forward, now that they have all these job classifications, they're going to give us pickup banners featuring units from different pools of job classes, essentially. So as you can see here, this one, oh wow, this is actually pretty good. So basically, if I pull on this banner, it's 1000 paid vis. The guaranteed slot only has 5 different outcomes, and so it's like there's a 11% chance of getting Dark Fina with this, and then the remainder 4 units are Mediana, Ayaka, Skull, and Sakura at 22% each. So this is definitely pretty interesting. To be honest, I'm quite tempted to do the pull just to try and get Dark Fina. And again, this is a sign of what the future brings. Chances are you're gonna do more of these sort of banners, but with other classes. So yeah, maybe in the future there'll be some really cool banners in the works. Okay, and that's it for the summon page. Let's take a look now at the new master ability 2. So I have a slide here prepared for this. So this is this is coming to us courtesy of a Japanese player by the name of Ochazuke. And so what this guy does for the JP community is that he will take the new master ability 2 screenshots, and then he will basically muck up what are the new additions and what are the changes to the existing ability within master ability 1. So in Miranda's case, as usual, she gets the 10% HP, 10% max HP buff, and 15 water ability up buff that is given to all water units in the party. And then in addition to that, she also gets new this time is Spirit SPR penetration plus 25. Her defense has also been increased from 5 previously to 20. And then most importantly, her Jammer Thrust now has now on top of what she has for the normal version and then the EX upgraded version, Dispelling Thrust. On top of all the effects you get there, the move is also now a guaranteed hit move. So that alone makes Miranda more of a powerhouse now. Maybe she's actually viable now, we're not sure about that yet. But even within my guild, my JP guild, we actually had some members, or some of our sub-leaders actually told some of our water specialist members to try and experiment with Miranda and see if she's actually a unit worth running in our guild battles now. Moving on to Kilphe. For Kilphe, as usual, she gets the HP 10% up and Earth ability up 15 for all Earth party members, all Earth elemental members in the party. And then new this time, or rather what's been tweaked this time, is her max HP for herself. It used to be 20%, but now it's been increased to 30%. And then the rest are new stuff. Agility plus 10%. She gets slash resist and magic resist up by 15. And finally, her limit burst now is 2 cast move. Now she can use her limit burst twice. And on top of the effects that it already has, it will also now remove re-raise. So that's pretty interesting, but I remember the limit burst for the move is pretty short range. So I don't know if people will end up running Kilphe now. Moving on, next is Margritte. So Margritte has Fire Elemental for all Fire Elemental units in the party, max HP plus 10% up. And then Don't Move, which is Immobilize Resistance plus 25. And then for herself, she also gets plus 10% agility. And then her ability activation time has been reduced by 50%. And then finally with Vallaide. I don't know how you pronounce his name, but this guy here, he gets area resistance plus 20. I don't think this is good enough to run him, but you know, we'll see. Maybe they could be useful in limited guild battle, but yeah, we'll see about that, I guess. So that's it for Master Ability 2. Moving on to the next topic of discussion, Icebrand plus 6. So for this, I don't actually have the recipes because I haven't actually done the I have not yet done my farming for the weapon yet. But what I can show you here is let's see. I think I only have like a single recipe for Icebrand because in JP I just don't really care about it. And so I don't know what the final stat values are for the weapon, but the one thing that we're sure of is that the plus 6 version adds 10 defense penetration. So all in all, it doesn't seem to be that much of an upgrade, but you know, for the full details, I think we still have to we have to wait for, you know, WOTV calc to update with the specific details and everything. But you know, of course the big deal this time is that, you know, there's actually a stage now that you can you know, play in solo or multi to farm the Icebrand recipe. So that alone is something that, you know, a lot of players are quite excited about, finally, after so long. And then finally, the last thing I want to talk about is the new vision card effects for the existing R and SR vision cards. So if we take a look here, so if we take a look here, you can see that there is now a new slot, new ability that's added that wasn't there before, and this one is restricted to job classes. Now they do make it a little bit difficult to see what kind of weapons this vision card effect applies to, but so what I've actually done, so basically if you were to actually go and make a composition with the R and SR vision cards, this is what it would look like if you go to party ability. It actually lists for you what the effects are and what kind of classes the ability would actually apply to. So with that in mind, I've actually written down the effects for all these vision cards. There's 20 of them, and what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to run through them very quickly and give some thoughts on, you know, if some of them are actually something you might want to use in PvP. Well, probably not PvP, but you know, in PvE content. Starting with Fun Time. So Fun Time originally has ATK up 15% and bestowed ability is a critical hit rate up 20. New this time is limited party ability of critical hit rate up 9, and this applies to units that can equip Fist, Dagger, Ninja Blade, and Katana. Okay, moving on. Next is Long Awaited Holiday. This is a luck vision card, and the bestowed effect is 20% dexterity up. And then the new party ability is AP obtained up 15%. AP acquired up 15. And this applies to Fist, Dagger, Ninja Blade, and Katana jobs. Next up, we have Zoo. Or I think the card is called Enormous Avian Zoo. So this card, normally it has 15% ATK up, which is actually the same as the other one, right? Yeah, it seems like the same. 15% ATK up for party ability, and then bestowed ability is Avian Killer up 20. So the new effect that this one has is accuracy up 9, and that applies to sword users, Red Mage and others, Great Sword, Axe, and Lance users. So I suppose this is a, if you want, you know, in limited guild battle, if you need a card to give you a little bit more accuracy, I think this is something that you might run in a limited guild battle if you only have 40 costs left. Next up is Magic Eye Beam Flowline. Normally it gives 15% dexterity up, and also bestowed effect is a slow resistance 15 and accuracy up 15. New this time is acquired AP up 15%, so similar to the long-awaited holiday card, but this one, it gives the effect only to sword users, warrior and others, bow users and gun users. Next up is everyone's favorite detective, Little Leela. Normally it gives MAG up 15%, and then bestowed ability is accuracy up 25 and defense down 5. The new limited party ability this time is accuracy up 9. We're starting to see a pattern. So it's accuracy up 9, but this one is limited to sword users, knight and others, rod users, mace users, glove and book users. Next card we have here is Gluttonous King's Arrival. And what this card does is it gives everyone in the party maximum HP up 7%, and the bestowed effects are critical damage up 25 and agility down 5%. New this time is critical damage up 9, and this is limited to sword users, warrior and others, bow users, gun users. So basically it's 3 categories. Sword users, warrior and others, so that's one category, and then bow users and gun users. Following that, we have Explosive Op Bomb. This one gives, normally it gives party ability, fire ability, resistance 7, and then the bestowed ability is critical hit rate up 20. New this time is maximum HP up 7%, and it applies only to, okay, I didn't actually write this down, but it applies to seems like sword users, bow users and gun users. So the sword users is the group warrior and others, it seems. Next up we have Beguiling Witch, which gives attack and non-attack ability activation time reduction 30 for the party ability, and then for the bestowed ability it's I don't actually know what this is. Something killer up 25. Technically it's corpse killer, but I don't know what the global version term for that is. And then defense down 5, and the new this time is magic attack up 11, and that applies only to sword users, knight and others, rod users, mace users, glove users and book users. Following that is Ogre, or rather Herculean Demon Ogre, and this card gives strike resistance up 7, and then bestowed effects are I think this is petrify resistance 25, and then this is agility down 5%. And then just like with some of the other cards before, this one gives critical hit rate up 9. And the effects that this applies to are sword users, ray mage and others, great sword users, axe users and lance users. Next up is Cactuar. So this one gives critical hit rate up 9, and then the bestowed ability is 12%, and then defense down 5. And the party ability for the new party ability this time is maximum HP up 7%, and it applies to sword users, knight and others, rod users, mace, gloves and book users. Now I think for the rest of the cards, because they are R and under, I'm not going to read out what the classes they apply to. Just keep in mind what the new party ability is, and then hopefully it's something that you might want to actually use in a limited guild battle or something else. So as an example here for the this is Wizard flag, which normally gives you evocation gauge up 30, and then toad resistance up 25 is the bestowed ability. I actually used this card in the recent guild raid that just happened in global, so it's actually a card that I would actually consider using. But the thing is, because it's it's an R card, and the party ability, the new one is dexterity up 7%, and it only applies to fist users, dagger users, ninja blade and katana users. I actually have no idea how this is supposed to help with anything. Like, there's just no way that you're going to use this card based on the new party ability. So who knows what the intention is. I think they just wanted to add something for all the old cards, but unlikely you will actually find any decent use case for it. Next up is Horn Castle, and this one gives, so normally it gives slash resistance 4, and then the bestowed effect is actually pretty good. Attack up, ATK up 30%, and then luck down 10%. And what's added this time is critical evasion up 4, which I guess, as a defensive card, you might actually run it as like the final slot, the final vision card slot in limited guild battle. And then we have Flag of Venice. This one usually gives, or rather previously it just gives HP up 8%, and then the bestowed ability is attack debuff resistance up 50, and then now the new party ability also gives 7% luck up 7%. And this one applies to, I'm actually curious what this one applies to. Venice Flag, Sword users, Raid Mages and others, Great Sword users, Axe users and Lance users. So basically most of your attackers can benefit from this. But again, this is something that you would probably only use as the final vision card to fill a slot in limited guild battle. Next up is Venice Castle. So this one gives strike resistance 4, and then bestowed ability is dexterity up 18, and the new added party ability is evasion up 4. So I'm just not going to mention what classes is limited to because I don't think it's that useful at all. And then we have the, what is this card called? Flag of the Crystal Sanctum, which gives, normally it gives accuracy up 6 for the party ability, and an additional accuracy up 25 for the bestowed ability. Now this card is actually pretty good, I think. You might actually put it in like the sub VC slot, for one of the attackers in limited guild battle, just to bump up that accuracy. And the new added party ability this time is slash resistance up 4, but it only applies to sword users, knight and others, rod users, mace users, glove and book users. This one is actually pretty good. Next up we have everyone's favorite card, or rather everyone's favorite R rarity vision card, which is, I think this is called Leonie's Castle. And normally the party ability it has is a critical hit rate up 6, and the bestowed effect, which is what you're equipping this for, is defense up 15 and spirit SPR up 15. And the new party ability is critical evasion up 4, which sounds pretty ideal, right? Because usually you put this on your tank in limited guild battle. But the problem with the new party ability is that it's only limited to sword users, warrior and others, bow users and gun users. So, it's being given to the subset of sword users that are not the tanks, I think. So that's a bit perplexing. I don't know why they chose to do this. Next up is Wizard Castle. So normally it gives strike attack resistance up 4, and then bestowed ability is also pretty good. Defense up 10, SPR up 10. And the new party ability this time is single unit resistance up 4, and that's applicable only to fist users, dagger, ninja blade, and katana users. Next up is the Flag of Horn. Usually it gives you dexterity up 7%, and it gives you 25 berserk resistance in the bestowed ability, which can be sometimes useful in PvE content. And then the new added party ability is magic resistance up 4, applicable only to sword users, red mage and others, great sword users, and axe and lance users. Next up, we have the Flag of Leonis, and this card usually gives ATK up 10%. And then the bestowed ability is stop resistance up 25, and the newly added party ability is missile resistance up 4, limited to sword users, warrior and others, bow users and gun users. And finally, we have Dinvark Cathedral. I don't know how to pronounce this word. I think it's Dinvark. Anyway, the final R card gives normally for the party ability missile resistance up 4, and the bestowed effect is what is this? Blind resist up 25. And the newly added party ability is area resistance up 4, but only applicable to sword users, knight and others, rod users, mace users, glove and book users. So, and I believe that's the last one. Yep. So overall, looking at all the new cards, I think for the most part, you are not going to be using them normally in PvP, except for, you know, rare instances like, for example, let me just show you what I have right now equipped on my party for limited guild battle. So most of the time for limited guild battle, you will often, you know, come to this scenario, especially when it's, you know, especially when they limit it to total cost, 560 or 540 or something like that. Usually when you do that, what happens is you don't have enough cost to actually run 3 good vision cards. So in the end, what a lot of people do is they'll run 2 pretty good vision cards, 2 UR vision cards, and then for the final slot they will run you know, like one of these low cost vision cards. And actually I think I can probably put one more here. Yep, like I suspected. Okay, 14. I think I can probably tweak my party. Like if I were to reduce my Esper cost by 10, I think I can actually fit another low cost vision card there. Let me just try that real quick, just to demonstrate. So now 530 out of 560. And then now I can put one more party ability. Sorry, one more low rarity vision card, as you can see here. Like SR vision card is normally it is normally 40 costs, but if you put it in the sub slot, it comes down to 28. So as you can see here, like if you just need a little bit more, like in my case, because my limited guild battle party is designed to counter light evade, I want to get, you know, 6 stars against light evade every time. So I'm pretty sure what I have here has enough accuracy to take out light evade. But suppose I don't run this water lockup card. Suppose I want to run like sticky Dane to get, you know, a lot more damage. There we go. Then, you know, I would, you know, need a bunch more accuracy, which I think I can get from, let's see here, like for example this card. I don't know if it actually applies, but so this is one example of how you would oh, this one has more on the bestow effect. So this is an example of how you would actually use these older R and SR vision cards with the new effects. Like on surface level, it doesn't seem like it changes very much, but it could actually make certain limited guild battle compositions a bit more viable. Okay, so that is pretty much it this time with all the new content out for July week 4 for War of the Visions JP. Like I mentioned, I will be doing a playthrough of this thing here, the new Sadali chapter, on another video, and I'm going to, fan sub it. So yeah, please look forward to that video, and let me know if you have any other thoughts on what kind of videos you want to see for War of Visions JP and Global. I think I'm planning to do some arena stuff content later this week as well, so please look forward to that, and with that I will see you on another video.